mentioned the possibility of a catch weight, so maybe 164 is something you would consider for a Canelo fight?
Whatever it make Canelo happy.
Okay.
Just to get him in the fight with Jermall Charlo and have the fans shut up and stop talking about, you know, I'm ducking somebody. How the hell can I be ducking somebody that's at a whole nother weight division that don't want to come down to my weight division? A two-time cheater, and you want me to go way up there to go fight him? I'll do the shit.
All right. And not to mention that you already moved up and tried to make the fight. You became his mandatory.
I could have fought Canelo at 154. We was on the same cards then. He fought my gym mate.
Charlo, he had a recent statement in which he said, how am I ducking a two-time cheater? But he said we can fight at a catch weight. Whatever to please Canelo. I'm not ducking him. Now, first of all, I don't know where this notion comes of Charlo ducking Canelo, because he's been calling for that fight since he was at 154, when he had a belt and Canelo didn't, when he was Canelo mandatory even at 160. So obviously Canelo gave up the belt to Charlo in order to avoid him. So we already know what time it is. But what's your take on Charlo comments, calling him a two-time cheater and saying, how am I avoiding him? What's your take on that? Where people are getting this Charlo is avoiding Canelo when that's the fight he really wants. The fight he wants the most is Canelo. So how is people claiming he avoiding the fight that he wants the most?
So I don't even know where you heard people say that Charlo is ducking Canelo. Like, I don't know where you got that from. But, yeah, I mean, that's the fight that Charlo wants. I don't know why people say that would be the person who's ducking. I mean, he's clearly wanting to fight him, but, you know, Canelo, he wants people, you know, to follow his rules. He wants people to go to 68. He wants to make people have a bet. You know, this is not fair. I mean, I know he's the A side, but come on, man. Like, it's always got to be towards him. But that's understandable. He is the A side, but come on, just fire him. You know what I mean? Like, that was your mandatory in the first place. You shouldn't have to do the most, having to go up in weight and having the belt. I mean, that was your mandatory. So I don't know where you got that, where people are saying that Charlo's ducking.
I got it from Charlo. Charlo said it. So apparently Charlo is reading into the comments.
Right.
Charlo is reading the comments, and they accusing him of ducking Canelo. And he's like, how the hell am I ducking Canelo when he gave up his belt and this and that and the third? This is what Charlo said. And you know how the Canelo fans are. They don't care what the facts are. They just accuse Charlo of anything. But we already know what time it is. Charlo at 154 had a belt. He called out Canelo. Canelo wasn't interested. At 160, Charlo was Canelo mandatory. At the time, that was a big fight. Oscar De La Hoya wanted it. Everybody wanted it. The WBC wanted it. But Canelo requested and made a belt that didn't even exist at the time. That was not a belt nor a championship, according to the WBC. Just a witness protection, like I said, in order to avoid Charlo, a dangerous mandatory, who was a mandatory for 2 years. Not 1 year, 2 years. And Canelo, instead of fighting his mandatory Charlo, he gave up the belt. So, again, it is a fact that Canelo avoided Charlo. Charlo already made it clear, I do whatever to make the Canelo Alvarez fight happen. If I have to do a catch weight, whatever it takes. Charlo said, I'll move up to 175 to fight Canelo. That's how you really know he really want the Canelo fight. And he said, we both the same size. He said, it don't matter how many divisions Canelo Alvarez moves up. We both the same size. We both started our career at 147. At least Charlo did. So if he moves up, I can move up. Because at the end of the day, we both the same size. That's what Charlo stated.
Right.
At the end of the day, that's the fight he want the most. And that's the fight I would like to see, because the arsenal he has. Even Benavidez Sr., he told me on split decision that he believes Charlo will beat Canelo. He's more awkward, and he's awkward technically. He has great counters. He could knock you out with either hand. He got tremendous counter uppercut, a tremendous jab, a sharp right hand, an iron shin, great defense. So Charlo brings a lot to the table. But to be honest, after seeing Canelo look extremely vulnerable against Billy Joe Saunders, who was outboxing him majority of the night before Canelo stopped him, I don't see Canelo fighting Charlo anytime soon.
Right, yeah. Let me rephrase that. I don't know what Charlo's getting at. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I think Andrade, honestly, I feel like Andrade might be actually a bigger challenge than Charlo. So yeah, I agree with everything you said, yeah.
I think Andrade is the most dangerous to everybody because of the style he brings to the table. It's very awkward, and his movement is unpredictable with good defense and good pop. If you go watch Andrade fights, majority of his fights, I don't care if it goes to a decision or not, he will drop his opponent in the first round. Like, he will earn his respect from round one. He will automatically drop his opponent and explode on them. So he's explosive, and he very good technically, could fight in the inside, unlike Billy Joe with better defense and boxing skills. He have a higher IQ without steroids. He don't got no steroids in his system. So that's why Canelo is looking at him as a major threat, and he's not entertaining the idea of fighting him anytime soon. Anything else you want to say before I pick up another call, my brother?
No, man. I agree with everything you said. Good talk. Yeah, keep it up, man. You know, I'm a big fan of your channel. Keep it up.
How did you choose Lomachenko? Because
I did not choose him. He requested. Canelo requested. So we sent out a vote and we analyzed his history.
Ooh, Canelo and Lomachenko requested?
Absolutely.
Ooh, you just made headlines.
Lomachenko.
You just made headlines.
Lomachenko, top rank, requested. And let me tell you, we analyzed the request. Top of the top.
Define the franchise belt. Can you define it?
The franchise is not a belt. It's not a championship. It's a designation given to elite, unique fighters who carry the industry of the sport.
Last man even said they doing that to protect them.
Right.
Somebody beat them, but they don't get a belt.
There you go.
The franchise belt is to protect them from the big black guys.
So you would favor?
They ain't gonna never give me my credit. So it's like I'll fight who they put in front of me.
How much longer do you think you're going to be at 160 before you move up?
I'm at 160 right now, man. I'm making it real smooth. We campaigning at 160 pounds. They want to see me. They got to come to 160.
So now one person who's at 168 right now, Canelo Alvarez. If you and him were to fight, would it be at 160 or?
We could fight for the franchise.
Okay.
I'm down for unified franchise, WBC versus WBC. We never seen that in history before.
Now speaking of Canelo, he's taking on Billy Joe Saunders. What do you make of that fight?
I'll fight in the big ring.
Yeah.
Don't be worried about no excuses. I'll fight at the weight, big ring, whatever they want. Man, it's the fight that the fans want to see. That's the fight I'm trying to give them.
Yeah. So when you heard that thing about the ring, why would a fighter say that? Is it just because he wants the bigger ring? Is it fear, or what do you think that is?
I don't know. I think it could be a game plan. It could be something where, maybe he's trying to psych Canelo out as if the fight may not happen, or maybe trying to sound worried and he's gonna show up prepared. Or I honestly don't know. That's something that's questionable. Like, why would he complain about a ring? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it.
Especially at the last minute, right?
The fight of your life. Yeah, this is the fight of your life. Billy Joe ain't never fought nobody. All those guys he fought, he over in the UK, he got some dubs over there. You in America now, you know what I'm saying? Stop complaining, shut up, get off the fight, let's work. You know what I'm saying? It's time to work.
Very good. Speaking of Canelo, he actually just said again that he wants to fight you. He wants to give the fans what they want. Realistically, when do you see
He didn't
that
say
fight?
that. He said it would be a good fight. He said it's something that the fans want, and that he don't know if he can come back down to 160. So listen, I campaign at 160. Golovkin's still at 60. Maybe we can do something where we can work out a catch weight and they still represent the title or something. I don't know. I'm not into all that. You know what I'm saying?
Got it. No, it makes sense. You don't want to give up advantages and that kind of thing. But when do you see it actually happening? Or do you see it actually happening? And if so, when? Are we talking within the next year or two?
Man, we can fight later at the fall, I don't think he has nothing on the resume. He likes to fight in September. I'll be ready then. Fight June 19th. I'll be ready in September. I ain't going to take no time off. Whatever they want. They're going to try to put me in a situation where it's not fair for me. So that's why that's why I'm prepared, to be comfortable in the most uncomfortable position. And if that takes fighting a guy that I'm fighting on June 19th, that's what I'm going to do. I'm here to win. I'm here to take over the world. And this is something, boxing is not that hard to make a fight. You know what I'm saying? They make fights every day.
So you mentioned, I'm sorry, Ken, you mentioned the possibility of a catch weight. So maybe 164 is something you would consider for a Canelo fight?
Whatever it make Canelo happy.
Okay.
Just to get him in the fucking ring with Jermall Charlo and have the fans shut up and stop talking about, you know, I'm ducking somebody. How the hell can I be ducking somebody that's at a whole nother weight division that don't want to come down to my weight division? I got the belt. He don't got no belt. He has no belt, no title, nothing to offer. A 2-time cheater. And you want me to go way up there to go fight him? I'll do the shit. But does it make sense? Who's controlling this?
Right. And not to mention that you already moved up and tried to make the fight. You became his mandatory.
I could have fought Canelo at 154. We was on the same cards then. He fought my gym mate.
Now, when you look at your resume, Jermall, I mean, you fought Derevyanchenko, you fought Korobov, you fought Julia Williams, you fought Austin Trout, you fought Cornelius Bunridge. Do you think that a lot of what you've accomplished is being overlooked by the media and perhaps some fans as well?